Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello, welcome to your Monday KVJ After the Show podcast. How the heck's everybody doing? Got myself, Virginia here. Bird will hopefully start joining us starting tomorrow. We tried today, had technical issues, but he was on the phone with us for one segment, and I actually was impressed with how energized he did sound.
Yes, he did sound a lot better than he was sounding last week.
Yeah, so I was like, that was very encouraging. I don't know how long he can sustain that, but I assume hopefully every day he'll get more and more energy. But he is still down and out from the COVID day 6. He's got fever still, and he's nauseous, and he's lost his sense of taste and smell, which he said that was tough. He had one of those delicious Oreo cookies, and it was like eating nothing.
Dang.
And that's terrible for him. I know he even would say before that was his biggest fear.
Like eating air.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is. It definitely is. It is an odd time. So I do appreciate everybody that's sending information that's in. You know, we've taken a lot of suggestions and used that to try to help Bird. Like people said, hey, make sure that he's checking his oxygen levels. And we appreciate that because we've been doing that. And so, I'm passing this stuff on. I know it pisses a lot of people off, but honestly, I don't give two shits because
we're in it.
Yeah. And I'm telling people like, look, this is just what I'm hearing. I'm trying to give you stuff that you can make your own decision. I'm not going to hold whatever you want to do. That's fine. You know, you do you, whatever's good for you. I'm just trying to let you know what we're seeing and what we're hearing that hopefully you can take it and you can dismiss anything, be like, that's shit. And, don't even pay any attention to it. That's fine. But, this is just stuff that we're trying to hear. And like I said, I'm not a political individual. I don't subscribe to either party, so I don't got a slant one way or the other. I just want people to be healthy. I want us to kick this thing in the ass and move on with life.
Yeah, our political party is healthy living.
Yeah.
And not being sick and getting our Jaybird healthy. Mm-hmm. And when you go through something and you talk about all the stuff you go through on the radio, are we supposed to just not talk about the fact that Jaybird has COVID?
Well, and I think too, the thing that I want to be, because nobody can be this or nobody's, being bold enough to do it, is I want to be a place where we can have civil discussion about this.
Right.
And you can dismiss all of it and whatever. But, when we got somebody that's down and out and we've heard these stories and a lot of people are affected by it. I got a kid that's going back to school tomorrow. He's affected by the mask thing. KVJ should be a place where we can have these conversations where you may hear something and be like, oh, okay, I hadn't heard that before, I hadn't thought about that, or it helps you out. So we're going to keep doing that, and if you don't like it, then spend your time somewhere else. That's just what I feel is the right thing to do.
But we're all figuring it out together, and I don't pretend to know anything, hardly, but especially medically. And that's the one thing that you can do by listening to other people's experiences and stories is you can learn and then form your own opinion and what you want to do for yourself and your family. But if you're yelling, you can't really learn. Yeah,
and so I'm listening to everything that people are sending me and trying to make good decisions and, going back and forth on it. And I've been open about, where I am with, my own COVID journey. I got the antibodies tested a month ago for that. And then, I'd seen that study out of Israel, and I had seen the Johns Hopkins doctor. People had asked me who was that, and I forward that to you. I won't regurgitate that just because I just hit that last week. But, that's kind of where I was riding on. I actually had an appointment on Friday. I was going to go get the first thing of it, and then I just kept seeing more and more. You're fine. Just do the vaccine or just do the antibodies. That's good. In fact, you may be more likely. But then today there's a couple other stories that are out. I read the one briefly about the Daily Mail that said people who have already had COVID may be more protected with only one vaccine dose than those who never contracted the virus and have 2 doses. So it is seeming more like that is the deal. And somebody had sent me an epidemiologist who is kind of doing something with the information and the data that I'm going to check out later about having COVID antibodies from prior infection is definitely not enough, somebody had sent. So I will check that out. So thank you for that information because I'm not against it. I'm just trying to do what is the right move. So, I might reset that thing up and get that thing this week. So,
yeah. And I went on because I wanted to get Magnolia maybe vaccinated. And I talked to her pediatrician about it. And it was relatively easy to go to pharmacies and places locally to get the vaccine. If you're looking for the Pfizer, like I would be looking for her, I'd be looking for the Pfizer. Simple, and you're not going into a place with sick people. You're going into a place where people are getting the vaccine, not necessarily getting tested for COVID in the same area as people getting the vaccine.
Right.
That's what you got to be careful, and that's the mind frame that I was in with you. I'm like, I'm not going to go and be in a waiting room with people that are sick from COVID while I'm here to get a vaccine shot for COVID.
Right. That makes sense.
So, yeah, it's navigatable. Is that a word?
Sure. The other story that I'd seen was one that was from Fox News. I gave you the sources so you can believe it or not. But it did say unvaccinated people who have had COVID are twice as likely to face reinfection as those who have received the vaccine. So that's what I was comparatively doing. Well, how did my antibodies face up against the vaccine? And those two stories right there kind of lay it out for me. So those were eye-opening to me. And if nothing changes on that, then yeah, probably on Friday I'm getting the shot. So it just seems like that's the right thing to do, and that's my own judgment. So maybe that does, maybe that doesn't affect you. Here's what people are doing, because we are also, because some people have it. So with Bird, thank you for all your recommendations about what you're taking if you got it, to make it easier to go through. He's vitamined up. He's doing all that kind of stuff. I got myself a new vitamin over the weekend because of your suggestions, doing a little bit more zinc. So thank you for that suggestion. John, he wrote in here his experience. He said, I got COVID around the same time as Bird. I'm a 50-year-old male, 157 pounds, good shape, who had been vaccinated. I went to bed a little tired on Thursday night. I wound up staying in bed until Monday. It felt like I'd been beaten up and down my back. I had severe chills, a sore throat, which made me unable to even swallow liquids. I was so cold and sore, I decided the best thing to do was not to get out of bed. Thus, I didn't eat and slowed my fluid intake because I didn't have the strength and was too cold to use the restroom. I never had breathing difficulty, so I figured I was going to be okay. It's day 8 now, and I'm almost back to normal. I still feel wobbly when I just briefly go outside in the heat and humidity and still cough phlegm. One thing's for sure, being vaccinated and wearing a blue mask will not prevent you from getting the new variant of COVID. I did both and still got it, so I wish the government would just stop with the politics and lies and give us the facts backed up with research. The virus has been around for 20 months now. Go figure. So, so he had an experience that sounded like it still sucked.
Yeah, I'm hearing more and more that they are saying our initial assessment of how many breakthrough cases we would have appears to be inaccurate.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the one thing I think all of us are getting. You can be vaccinated and still get this thing.
Yes,
so
right.
Don't think that just because you're vaccinated, you now have big dick energy and you can go licking doorknobs again, like I originally thought.
You were talking about that, and it's a good thing you found this out, because, you got to still be cautious.
You still have to be cautious. So there you go.
Got SL in the Pizzle said, I'm lying here quarantined on my bed after getting COVID, watching you on YouTube. I contracted COVID after a big outbreak at work, but I'm fortunately vaccinated. I can catch a cold and be on death's door, but I am only experiencing mild symptoms with this: headache, scratchy throat, and ear pain. Fun fact, the health department is supposed to contact you as soon as possible for contact tracing. I got results on Thursday and have yet to be contacted as of Saturday. Yeah, I think they're getting backlogged.
Yeah, because they probably were like, oh, crap, the third wave. We're not ready.
Yeah.
Just like all of us.
Right. And SL said, long story short, consider vaccination, wear a mask, and continue social distancing. Above all else, can we please, as a society, stop making this political?
Yeah, I think everybody's going back to wearing masks all in public.
For the most part, I still,
it.
some more people are, but there's still a lot that aren't. But I think with every day, that's why I'm keeping an eye on this, because I think with every day, things are going to change. We were in the Dolphins practice on Saturday, and some people had them on, but they weren't required. And you're outdoors, and I guess is maybe where that was. Now, I read off a little bit earlier about the Dave Chappelle thing. I don't know if they required masks for that, but I know you did have to get tested before going into the venue. He was at Hard Rock Live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And one person had said that you could start getting tested at 2 p.m. and he didn't come on stage till 11. So if you went and got tested at 2, you had 9 hours to kill.
Wow. Hopefully you had a hotel room to go take a nap in.
Yeah, that'd be the only thing.
Are you allowed to go chill by the pool?
I think you probably could do about anything at that point. I don't think you have to just sit there in one room. You probably go around and do whatever you want to do. But somebody had said that including results took about a half an hour. So a lot of the events, if you want to go to concerts, football games, and all that, I don't know. Maybe that might start being a thing. A football game, I don't know how they do it because some stadiums, have 70 to 110,000 people in them.
Right, just the logistics of testing all those people in like a 3-hour window.
Yeah.
Eee.
So I don't
know. And how
know.
expensive is that? Did Chappelle work that into the cost of the tickets?
It's a good question. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Don't know the answer to it. And then the other thing that people are going to have to start figuring out too is when it comes to your job, more and more jobs are making you get the vaccine. CNN actually fired 3 employees that didn't get the vaccine. They show back up to the office, and they're like, you're gone.
Oh.
United Airlines became the nation's first major air carrier to require shots. So you got to have the vaccination to work for them. And Microsoft and Tyson Foods both announced mandates.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's another thing you got to consider with all this, too. If you're going to stand the ground and say, I'm not going to do it, how much do you love your job? Because they may say, sorry. So something else to consider. Let me see. Also, another thing that had come up because tomorrow schools start back. I think St. Lucy's back tomorrow as well. I think you said Martin Wednesday. Palm Beach is back tomorrow. So there is the whole thing with the masks. DeSantis has said you can't mandate them. And then the schools started saying, well, okay, here's going to be our thing is the opting out. You can do that. Now I see it's a big lawsuit that is going on.
Oh, boy.
As parents are suing DeSantis's executive order. But it's going to take a little while because I guess the governor's office has 20 days to file a response. But some legal experts believe it could head to the state Supreme Court to decide. So because the way it says right now under Florida law, students are entitled to safe schools, but the Florida state constitution puts the power of running schools in local school districts. So they should be able to make their own decisions on what they want to do. But in June, the legislature had passed this House bill, which gave parents the sole right to make decisions about their child's health care. So that's the fight. So that's why it's going to take a little while. So one email we got was from Sarah. She said, please stop spreading misinformation about extra credit and masks. I've been teaching in Palm Beach County School District for 14 years, and it is unethical to give extra credit for masks. Any extra credit has to be tied to academic work. We can have our certificates sanctioned at the state level. Please don't make our job harder than it is already. You might want to check a story out of Boca News Now. They had a letter from Palm Beach County School District saying that Palm Beach County teachers say they can't punish kids who don't wear masks, but can reward those who do. Homework passes, games rewards, and extra credit. And they cite an elementary school teacher in Boca Raton who said, we can incentivize students to do the right thing. If we can't order them to wear masks, we can certainly give awards and rewards to students who do. And they talked to 4 other teachers who said the same thing in the article. So I don't know about spreading false news, but Boca News Now is saying that after interviewing 4 different teachers who plan on doing it. So,
and maybe, your school is not going to do that, but there's a lot of schools and a lot of teachers and, everybody's going to do stuff different.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you talk to the Palm Beach County Classroom Teacher Association President Justin Katz, he told BocaNewsNow.com over the weekend that no job action is planned by teachers who largely want masks mandated. There is no suggestion that the CTA has encouraged individual teachers to craft an incentive system, so they're not pushing it, but it doesn't sound like they're, at least right now, restricting it.
And it's going to be a personal decision for the teacher and her or his agenda.
Yes. And the Palm Beach County School District, commenting after this article first appeared, told us that the district itself isn't incentivizing mask use. So they're like, don't yell at me. These are individual teachers who want to do it. So if they're going to shut it down, they may have to tell the teachers you can't incentivize it.
And then they might do that at some point if the fight gets too heated. But as of now, that's not fake news. As of now, you do have some teachers that want to go that way with it, and until they're mandated and told they can't.
Right. So if you want to see the article, Book of News Now is the one that has to do a Google search, and that'll pop up for you. Brian said the reason parents don't want teachers to incentivize their children is simple. It's not ethical. The pressure a child feels is a lot greater than an adult normally and is unfair to the kid. To make a kid make a choice like that is putting them in an unfair position. If the teacher is scared to work in that environment, that's their choice. Maybe we should incentivize the teacher to do their job and not try to influence our children's choices. Try wearing a mask, Kevin, for 8 hours a day for 9 months. So funny how the building you guys work in have signs saying unvaccinated must wear masks, yet look at Jaybird. I guess next it'll be show me your papers, huh? So there you go. So it's going to be an interesting week as the kids get back, because you can see some people are very testy about these things going on. Yeah, I know, right? So just to make you aware as you walk out there in the world, because I know you walk into a situation and you're not aware, and all of a sudden people are yelling at you and like, oh, wait, what happened? What's the new news today?
You're stupid, and here's why.
Right.
Like, wait, what?
Right. Okay, why am I getting yelled at now? I want to stay healthy, y'all. That's it. Stop yelling at me. I got a couple other comments here. This is from Kim. We were talking about, are you too old? She said, regarding if you're too old for something, when should you cut your hair short if you're over 60? Seen that. It's kind of a move that, there is somewhere maybe around 50 or 60 somewhere where a lot of women get rid of longer hair and they go short.
Uh-oh. I need long hair. I'm not that cute.
Yeah, I do see that. I don't know why. I'm such a big fan of the long hair, and I don't know why that seems to be something you see a lot of women doing.
I know that, like, my mom did it, and I know that her mom did it, but I don't know why they did it. I mean, maybe they wanted less hassle. I don't mind the hassle for the trade-off of feeling cuter. I've tried short hair. I don't have that kind of a face.
Right. I can see that. Yeah, I know. I'm a dude who needs hair too. I'm like, and if I were you, I would keep it. I want to have it.
You want me to have hair.
Right. Absolutely. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's about your look and your own comfort level. But, I think the ultimate thing that we talked about with that, look, if you're comfortable with it, wear it.
Rock
I mean,
it.
people are going to give you crap. People give me crap. I got on skinny jeans today. People are like, dude, you clearly are going through a midlife crisis. Yeah, I am. I actually went through an early life crisis. I'm going to go through a late life crisis. My whole life has been a crisis. I've not
been
ever
in crisis for 30 years.
Yes, I've ever not been in a crisis. My whole life is one. So yes, that's where I am. I clearly am going through something. I've got a lot of issues. But you just got to recognize that. You know what? I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I don't care what age I am. That's just what I want to do. So yeah, I ultimately feel that way about the age thing. But if you do care, this is when people will start, talking about you under their breath. Doesn't he look weird? Middle-aged guy wearing skinny jeans. So, yeah.
Hold your head up and just
That's it.
Be happy.
That's it.
If your skinny jeans make you happy, rock them.
Rock them. Now, this is something. Skinny jeans. Does it cup the crotch a little bit more on dudes? Do you see a bulge? Do
let's
guys
see.
want to show it off? And do women want to even see it?
Stand up on your chair. Put that thing on KVJ TV.
I'm not showing off. Oh, my gosh. You imagine if the Queen saw that? You trying to show off your dick on TV? Good Lord. Like I said, I got enough problems. I got enough people coming at me just talking about COVID. I can't deal with my wife. You're right. I shouldn't probably be showing off my dong blatantly. Yeah. Get me in trouble. The question, ladies, does a bulge in a man's pants draw your eyes like nipples poking through a shirt does for men? Virginia, what would you say on that?
I would say yes. I would say that definitely girls and guys are both going to look at dong and nipples.
Yes.
Nipples draw my eyes the same way the dong draws my eyes. It's just like, whoa, shocking, because most people, you can't see the outline of their nipple or dong.
Yeah. I know it. It's true. My wife will even comment, and I'm secure enough. I'm not. I know what she's doing, but she'll, especially like if we're in the crowd and somebody's on a stage, she's like, "Whoa!" Somebody needs to tell him that you can really massively see his dong. Like somebody needs to tell him that his pants are too tight.
Our guy Tyler Cameron was on Watch What Happens Live the other night with Andy Cohen.
Okay, nice.
And Tyler had posted a picture of himself petting a horse. But he was like, he was leaning against this fence with his back against the fence and kind of petting the horse that was behind him.
Right.
And so it kind of like pushed his junk out of his pants, kind of like you could, the outline was very clear. And Andy asked him point blank, hey, did you know that you could see your dick prominently in that photo? And he admitted, we knew that. We did it. And
really? That was intentional.
He said,
smart.
We didn't not post it. And we thought that's a better picture because you can see.
Yeah.
And he's right.
It gets people talking. I mean, look, the one thing that came out of the Kanye story last week was he'd taken that photo in his drawers and people were like, clearly he is packing something massive down there. And there's a big storyline. So, I mean, people do notice, and it is, in fact, I probably hear of people talking about dong bulge more than I hear about nipped out shirts, because I think now nipped out shirts are kind of played. It's like, you do it, but I mean, it's so, okay, is it really a story? Not as much as I think a dude donging out of his pants, right?
Dong is the new nipple.
Yeah, it is. I think it is. And, I was looking at some of the comments when somebody had asked this, I think on Reddit, and they said, just like nipples on a man or a woman poking through a shirt, it's immediately noticeable. So is a man having a bulge or a woman having a front wedgie of sorts. So, you can look at the camel toe in there and put that in the same grouping. But the main difference is when somewhat close by, it's obvious if you glance at a chest, but it's very, very obvious if you glance downstairs because your eyes have to go even further. So if you're really checking out somebody's bulge or their camel toe, you're like, your head has to drop.
It's just human nature, though. Don't be mad at yourself if your head drops.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's calling your attention, you're just an animal. You can't help yourself.
Well, the thing I loved about, this comment, because there are some people like going, I got a bulge. This one comment on the thread said, I like ass more, but seeing my boyfriend's bulge, even though I know it's mostly balls, gets me going. And that's the truth. So many guys out there, they're
mostly
actually
balls.
showing, she said, I'm not saying my boyfriend has a small penis. He's just got large balls. And sometimes that's what's very deceiving about a bulge is how impressed are you if the guy's just got big balls? Are you really impressed with that? No, right? But you don't know.
Well, all bulges are not created equal. So some of them you can, and the one that the Tyler Cameron one, you could tell it wasn't balls.
Yeah,
it
you're
was
right.
Specific. Yeah. Think about the Jason Derulo one that I know you have etched in your brain, like all of us, Kevin. You knew that was not balls. You could see what it was.
And that's where I think guys who probably like myself and Bird, if we're throwing off a bulge, we think we're deceiving people. You got to come to that reality that if you're more ball than dick, you're going to get to a point here where you're not going to fool anybody. They're going to be like, he's all ball. And that's why we got to watch ourselves, because you're right. The truly donged out individuals, the Jason Derulo one, same thing.
Yeah.
You knew it was all dong.
Yeah.
It's not ball thing. If I get credit for unfortunately a pant bulge, it's because it's all ball. It's going to be the way it is, and you got to know what you're more of, fellas.
Be honest with yourself about your dick.
It was kind of like the girl back in junior high that would stuff her bra.
I was her.
See, and you thought you were getting credit, but you could tell. I remember that there was a girl named Tiffany in our grade, and she would do that, and we're like, she's not fooling anybody at all. And I think it's the same thing with the bulged out. You're not fooling anybody at all. We know you're all ball. That's just how it goes. You got to accept it. That's just the way life goes. I didn't make the rules, Virginia. That's just what it is. Tell me if you like this idea. This is interesting. This might be coming your way. There is a whole bunch of talk about, I talked a little bit on Friday about the electric cars and how they're Biden's pushing for that by 2030. I can't remember. He had
Yes.
some ambitious number. I think we're at 4%. He wants to be at like 50 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck. But, regardless, they are changing up the cars, and technology is changing a lot. And they've got this infrastructure bill that if you ever flip through any news network, you hear them talking about a lot. But the one they're debating would require auto manufacturers to equip advanced alcohol monitoring systems in all cars. What would this mean for everybody? Now, they already have this. If you're a chronic drunk driver, you know about this. But for everybody, your car would come equipped to accurately detect whether your blood alcohol concentration, the person who's driving and sitting in that seat, is higher than 0.08, in which case the system would prevent or limit motor vehicle operation.
Yeah, it's a blow before it'll even start. You have to blow in that thing to make it start, I think, right?
I think that's how it's set up now. Now, this, I don't know, because I know people be like, this is annoying. Imagine if that part breaks. Just, you have parts, your air conditioner doesn't work.
True.
Your windshield wipers don't work. So imagine if your breath detecting device doesn't work and you're like going, damn it.
And now you can't start your car.
Right.
And now you're late for work.
Right.
Or now you didn't
worse.
pick up your kids from school.
Right.
Like, that could be a mess.
It could. So I don't know what it's going to look like, but they say automakers would have only a 3-year grace period to comply with the regulation if the infrastructure bill is passed, which they're trying to do now. So imagine that. Any new vehicles, if you get a new car, and, that could be by 2024, 2025, you would have that in there. And, think about what that would mean. Now, to me, I'm all for this. I think it's fantastic. And look, I would want to know, because there are times where, hey, maybe you're at dinner and you have wine and you think you're fine. And then your car would tell you, oh, no, you're not. And you just got to be ready for that. You're going to really know what your level is, or else, you're going to be paying an assload in Ubers. And keep in mind, that's going to be a multiple Uber, because you're going to have to go home and you're going to have to come get your car the next day.
I think it'd be cool, though. I mean, if you could opt into doing it and put one in your car voluntarily, and then therefore your insurance would go down,
Yeah.
or maybe you'd get some kind of safe driver discount.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I would do that.
It'd be real smart. Absolutely. Yeah, and they do these kind of things, and I wonder how accurate it is, because you talk about that safe driver thing. My wife's got one of these apps now with our car insurance, and she's on there. She's trying to prove that she's a better driver than I am, which she always does. But she'll slam on the brakes and she's hitting stuff, and and she thinks I'm the world's worst driver, which just blows my mind.
Because you're so conservative.
Right.
You're just it's
Smooth, it's
easy. Slow and steady wins the race.
She cites back to when I hit that bus that stopped short at the train track like 6 years ago. And she's like, you have an accident. I'm like, I've had one accident in 30 years of driving. And it was, because of this stupid bus. And so with her app, it penalizes her if she picks her phone up. So it's good. So it keeps you from looking at your phone at all. And then the only thing it seems to really register is like when she brakes hard. Somehow the app knows that. But then I don't know how the app knows if she's a driver or a passenger. And then it seems like it leaves a lot off, because she was struggling trying to get through the parking lot yesterday. I mean, she hit a curb. She hit this. She almost hit the back of another car.
Oh, damn.
I mean, this is what it's like riding with her. And she has the balls to try to think she's a better driver than I am. And then she gets there and she checks the app, and she's not dinged a bit. I'm like, if this thing were sitting shotgun with her, you would have gotten this. She was 3 inches from hitting a car's bumper.
Yeah, that's just not an accurate app.
It's not. So, yeah, I wonder, hopefully our breathalyzer is going to be a lot better and more accurate. Where's the technology when it comes to this stuff?
I think it measures, too, like if you stayed within the speed limit, if you accelerated really fast, or if you braked really hard. But then that's it. Yeah, if you're a sloppy driver and you're hitting curbs and stuff, it's not registering that.
Yes, and so she's going around now kind of like touting about how well she's driving, because this app is keeping... I'm like, this app, this shouldn't count.
You should be like, all right, curbs.
Yeah. I couldn't believe when she hit 2 curbs and almost hit the back end of a car and dinged a bit.
You're like, that's how you know that app is crap.
This app it's a crap app. It's a crap is what it is. Yeah, it's completely wrong and not good. I got an email here from Jeff saying I'm a little bit behind on the podcast, but I started laughing as I was working. And I realized I was holding up a couple of those bidet attachments to my cousin's toilets as Denny's was talking about his. He said, when I tell you that your toilet experience will change for the better, it's an understatement. I've had about 20 different people who I told about this one bidet attachment and they ended up getting it. And they all called me right away and thanked the hell out of me. Some during the process. It takes a minute to get used to, but there is no going back. I was just on a week vacation and I missed the hell out of my bidet. Trust me, you'll be happy. It's the Bio Bidet Slim Edge Simple Bidet Toilet Attachment in white with dual nozzle, fresh water spray, non-electric, easy to install.
Dual nozzle?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. You might need that dual nozzle. I think I'm good with one.
One for the bung, one for the clam?
I think maybe it is, yes. And does it come at it the same way? Because I think, and tell me if this is true, can your bung handle more than your clam? If you were talking about water pressure, would you want the more gentle on the clam, right?
I think more gentle on the clam.
So they shouldn't be set the same. You should have a butt adjustment, which should be more intense, and then you should have a more genteel one for your clam.
Well, there's more debris that needs to be removed for the bung one.
Right. So you want that thing, and I mean, depending.
Give me the full force.
Right.
Give me fire hydrant.
Yes. You need like a water pressure. What's that water pressure thing that they use? The
pressure washer.
Pressure washer. You need pressure washer on the back end, but you need a light trickle on the front. So I hope that they've got that adjustment. But yeah, he says apparently this one, you get it right on Amazon. The Bio Bidet Slim Edge Simple Bidet Toilet Attachment. Yeah, we're redoing the bathroom here sometime in the next 10 years. And I think I'm going to give it a shot. But where do you go try out a bidet? Because imagine if you do it and you realize there's just something about your butt or you're like, I can't do it. And you've already gone into it. Now, I guess you can take the attachment off, but I would really like to sample this thing and do a test drive. I mean,
well, we asked Denny's the other day if we could all come have a show poo at his house, and he said yes.
I see. That's not right.
And then you can just buy the same product he's got.
I couldn't do that to our boy. It's just nothing right with that. Not to mention, that'd be so weird.
I think if he was by himself, it wouldn't be a big deal. But the fact that we're doing it to his wife, that makes me feel weird.
Yeah, there's just a lot that's not right. But there are so many people swearing by these bidets that it's getting my attention. That word of mouth, Virginia.
All right.
Gotta tell you, it's very powerful. I'm definitely considering it.
I know you like a clean bung.
I do. Oh my gosh, it's so important. It really is. Well, when I go to, that's one reason why I can't do away games. And you know what I'm talking about.
Pooing at work, pooing at a gas station.
Because we have wet wipes.
Yeah.
And it is a different experience. And I will tell you, if bidet is anything like that, I get what he's talking about because that's why I can't even tolerate it. In fact, it's in my head the entire time. I'm not as fresh as I could be because I didn't have the wet wipes. And the second I get home, I run for the bathroom in the wet wipes or a shower or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the bidet is just wet wipes on steroids.
Yeah.
It's better, it's cleaner, it's faster.
And you're right. Once you go wet wipes, you never go back. I would never go back. I feel like you're a barbarian if you don't have wet wipes.
You should get that fancy one where not only does it squirt you in the ass, but then it blow dries your ass.
Yeah.
That is fancy.
But I think these bidets, I mean, they can go up like crazy amount of money. What I hear, like 20,000, 10 or 20.
Yeah.
Like, it's like buying a car for your ass.
But, I mean, think about how much time you spend in the bathroom and how much you love a clean bung.
I do. I don't know how it's kind of that whole thing. Like, I don't know how advanced I want my toilet to be.
Happy bung, happy life.
I know. I do want a clean, happy bung. But there's just something about it that I feel like if this thing's too smart, like the ones that can tell you if you're overweight or whatever, I don't know. It doesn't seem right. It even detects your poo to tell you if you're healthy or not.
That's amazing.
But I don't know. Is that too much? Again, keep in mind, technology malfunctions, right? Can you imagine if that thing malfunctions and gives you a bad diagnosis? Yeah, Metal Beer Dan saying, Kev, your life would change forever for the better. Gosh, people are singing the praises of these bidets. So there you go. Yeah, you can get one off of Amazon, apparently pretty affordable. If you're one of those people, let me know, because like I am with the vaccine, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued about the bidet. I might be vaxxed and bideted in a week.
Wow.
Can you imagine what a big week this is going to be for me?
New man.
Oh, my
Come
gosh.
walk in here with some kind of energy we won't even recognize.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. Thanks for all your endorsements, all your recommendations. You're helping me live a better life, y'all. Send them in to us, mail at kvjshow.com, mail at kvjshow.com. You guys all have a great Monday. See you later.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.